Good morning from beautiful Bangkok, Thailand. This is Flano. You're tripping with Flano. I'm going to ramble you a really good one today. I keep trying to go do this whole set up a tripod, sit in the park and do a ramble, but it's just not working out that way. So we're just going to ramble and walk. Walk and ramble like I do in other stuff. Okay, so today's subject is my Bill Rieflin story. My Bill Rieflin story. So, Bill Rieflin, rest in peace, Bill, was a pretty phenomenal dude and drummer. He drummed for like REM, Ministry, King Crimson, and basically he came up out of this Seattle scene. And he passed away at 59 this last March 2020. And I was pretty devastated. I just got the news actually. I had a short relationship with him, but a pretty cool, awesome relationship, because I was a massage therapist on the 92 Lollapalooza tour, which meant I got to work on like tons of super cool people, and Bill was one of them. Bill was a regular. I'm not going to go off and ramble too much about all of that. I'll save that for another video regarding all the Lollapalooza stuff, because people have been telling me to do a ramble on that, so I'm going to do it here soon. But this particular ramble is focused on the whole Bill thing. So, but I do need to just clarify how I ended up on Lollapalooza as a massage therapist, because some people saw my Flano tapes on YouTube, and somebody, I had nothing to do with putting those up on social media, by the way. The whole Flano tapes was something I did at the end of the tour, meaning putting these just, you know, video footage on shit fucking camera of stuff I did on the tour. A lot of it was focused on Pearl Jam, some Ministry, you know, a little bit of everybody, but the edit was kind of for more towards a Pearl Jam gang. But there's a fucking killer segment of Bill Rieflin. Bill Rieflin's in the Flano tapes, actually. I don't know if it's the first one or second one. But anyway, so how did I end up the massage therapist in Lollapalooza 92? Without all the super ramble, we'll just leave it at this. Ted Gardner hired me. Ted Gardner was Perry Farrell's manager. Perry Farrell is Jane's Addiction. And Perry Farrell pretty much started the Lollapalooza. It went out first time in 91. And Jane's Addiction headlined in 91, and 92 was the second year. And that particular billing, in order of appearances, if I got it right, was, here we go, shit, Lush, Jesus and Mary Chain, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Ice Cube, and Red Hot Chili Peppers, or in Ministry. Did I say Ministry? Yeah, Ministry was right before Chili Peppers. Yeah, so it might have been like Ice Cube, Ministry, and Soundgarden. Something like that. I mean, Red Hot Chili Peppers was the headliner. So I have tons of backstory on stuff that happened when I got hired, but Ted Gardner hired me to be the massage therapist for the band and the crew. Okay? And I'll make a whole nother ramble about that. But right now, this is in memory of Bill Rieflin. So, again, I'm a massage therapist on Lollapalooza 92, and I have my trailer backstage, every venue. Basically, the way it worked is we'd roll into a venue on our tour buses. I was on the production bus with Curly Jobson and And oh my God, Ted Gardner, of course. And oh, I can't believe I'm losing my mind. The names, some of these huge dudes who are on my tour bus. Regarding rock and roll history, huge dudes. Kevin Lyman. Kevin Lyman's a pretty big fucking dude, right? I mean, I'm bigger than Kevin, but I mean, you know what I mean? He's like super huge in the rock and roll production, performance venue, Van Warped Tour, and Coachella, I guess. Just tons of stuff. Anyway, so enough of that. That's for another video. Okay, that's something else. So the deal is, I'd wake up on the tour bus. Normally, well, this is the general deal. Sometimes I rode awake the entire time. But anyway, I'd get up on the tour bus in the morning at the venue. We'd arrive at the venue, and everybody else is already off the bus. They get up because, you know, they're fucking setting up stage and they're really working their asses off. So, excuse me. So, I'd get up around whatever time it was, but basically my routine was I'd get up, I'd go find my trailer, set up my gear being a massage table and a massage chair, and I put up a sign-in sheet on my door. So I'd have sign-in sheets starting right after lunch, because I would eat lunch, and nobody had time to do anything before that anyway because they're busting their asses. So then typically after lunch, what would happen is different assorted crew personnel would, you know, they'd sign up there for, I have 40-minute slots for people. So I'd have this on my sign-in sheet on my door, and you know, somebody come up and just write their name, simple, on a time slot. And then I'd be there, they'd be there, I'd work on them for approximately 40 minutes, approximately. Most of the work I did was using my chair. I did use a table, definitely, occasionally, but predominantly the crew dudes or whatever would just come in, plop down on the chair. I had a special little kind of an alcohol-based quick little cleaning agent, wipe all over their back, and I had a special super magic thing I used, which was kind of a gel formula kind of a thing. It was a mix between like an oil and a lotion, or I just place a towel over their back and do them with nothing. So later in the day, some of the band guys would show up because, you know, they do their sound checks or whatever. I forget what time the sound check was. Oh, it's lunchtime or whatever, I guess. Because the first band I think went on at 3. I forget. Anyway, so band members would also put their names on there. Primarily, I'll talk about some of the band members I worked on briefly, but Bill Rieflin, of course, he was definitely one of my main guys. Dave Aberzees, Pearl Jam drummer. Chad Smith was fairly regular, not as regular as like Bill and Dave. And Chris Cornell, I had worked on him a few times, not a whole lot. I can't recall how many, but he'd been in there handful of times throughout the tour. He was awesome. I do have a Chris Cornell story too. I'll do that on another video. But this is Bill Rieflin. Bill was awesome. Bill would come in regularly. He'd ramble me around the venue different times. And he also had me come into his hotel room and set up on off days or stuff to work on him. He was, I can say this in a very sweet way. He's very, in my opinion, he was an intense guy, but super cool. Like, I totally got on with him. Never met any of these people before. Had no history of him. To me, he was just some cool, crazy, insane drummer for ministry. I had no history on him whatsoever. So, my sessions with Bill had very little ramble. It's most of them. I mean, some people, all they do is talk when you get them in the chair. But with Bill, there was little ramble. We talked more in his hotel room than we did actually at the venues. But I won't go into the details of the talks per se, other than he was super cool. They were always good talks. Him sharing a little bit about himself and then asking questions about me, which is a dangerous thing to do because, you know, I'll ramble your ass off if you're not careful. But I'm also a really good listener. So, yeah, Bill was just awesome. I worked on him, well, at the venues, I worked on him in the chair, and in his room, it was a table. I brought the table to his room. And he really appreciated the work. I do basically a kind of a, how to say it, energy healing massage, Reiki, trigger type thing. But I won't go into all my massage stuff other than I did that for a very long time. And yeah, okay, so the big story with Bill is, I've kind of already blown the catch, but the story goes like this. So, years later after the tour, I never saw Bill after the tour, right? So, again, had a great time with him, super positive, hugs and everything, just really can't say enough goodness about Bill Rieflin. Awesome dude. From my perspective, just great. So anyway, I forget what year it was, early 90s, mid 90s, I guess. Mid 90s, because after Lollapalooza. Well, it's actually quite a bit after Lollapalooza. Might have been around 2000. Yeah. It was late 90s, probably around 2000. Shit. Oh, I'll have to ask like Dr. Gary Wittenberg because he was involved in this. So there was these friends I had in LA. They were like lawyer dudes, right? And they wanted to become like music producer, rock and roll dudes, and they wanted to do this, basically this thing, they called it Rock Diaries. I don't think it ever really saw the light of day. But bottom line was, we got together, ran up to Seattle and followed this really cool band called Lazy Susan. Kim was a singer, and these Seattle people know Kim, and she's awesome. And anyway, so we go up to Seattle. I'm part of the production, kind of a talent liaison or something. I don't know exactly why I was there. Well, maybe I do, but anyway, I won't get into that. It was all good stuff. So we land in Seattle. We rent a van. And those of you that know me know I'm like the driver guy. And I had my vans. So I was the driver of the van we just rented. We get in Seattle. These guys I'm with, they know me fairly well. You know, pretty good. We're pretty tight. And but we don't have I didn't know any of them on Lollapalooza time. These guys, the LA attorney guys I'm with, they became friends later. So they weren't like old friends, but we did a lot of stuff together prior to this excursion to Seattle. So we fly this whole production crew, film crew up to Seattle, and they've done the deal with this band Lazy Susan. And we're gonna like track them, follow them for like a week or something, and like be in their life, you know, rehearsals, everything, go up to Vancouver to the Gaslight Pub or whatever it was, you know, follow them and just document everything. The hopes was they were gonna be the next big thing in Seattle and we would have caught them, you know, right on the cusp of them breaking big, like what all the other Seattle bands did. So anyway, we land Seattle SeaTac Airport, walking down Sukhumvit here in Bangkok. We land SeaTac in Seattle, get the van, load up, and we head out. Flano's driving, got that, right? I'm driving the van. We're getting through traffic and we got to get on the 405. There we go. Got to get on the 405 in Seattle. So Flano's driving. I got a van full of people behind me and crew and everything packed in the van, right? So I'm starting to merge out onto the freeway, right? And I'm gonna try to describe this visually as best you can so you get a good picture. The guys in the van aren't really paying attention to much other than, you know, they got all their gear and they're getting all their headspace ready on what they're gonna do and everything. Flano's driving. So as I'm starting to merge onto the freeway, keep in mind it was like rush hour, it was total traffic. The traffic wasn't hardly moving, just very little bit. I'm merging out. I'm coming right up beside another white van, but this isn't a, it's a like a I'm not gonna say that. It's just like a, you know, like a full cargo van, like what I used to have. No windows or anything, right? Yeah, no windows, van, white van. I'm pulling up kind of beside it, but the guy's not letting me over, right? I'm kind of looking at him in the window. The guys in the van with me, they can't see who's driving the van. I can. All of a sudden, the perspective of the guys in the van, my friends, they see me screaming and yelling, going, "Fuck you, motherfucker! Fuck you! Get the fuck off fucking..." And I'm going totally crazy. I'm going ballistic and scaring people. I'm walking down the street here. I'm like, "Fuck you! Fuck you! Get the I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker! Pull over, motherfucker!" And I'm screaming at this guy. Pull over. Now the guys in the van, keep in mind, are freaking out at this stage. They've never seen, you know, Flano massage healer, sweet, big, gentle, giant guy ever do anything like this. And I'm going super ballistic, screaming and yelling, "I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker! Pull over!" So what happens? The van starts pulling over right in front of us. Now the guys in my van are freaking out. "Flano, what the fuck?" You know, they're like, "You insane?" And so I try to get out of the van and somebody's grabbing my shoulders, trying to hold me back from not getting out of the van. I break through and somebody else is coming out of the side van to come around and stop me. And I'm charging the other van. Well, the dude gets out of the other van. I charge him, ready to take him out. I hug the guy. I grab him, lift him, and hug him, and he hugs me back. And I think I probably even fucking kissed him, smooched him. And he starts laughing, I start laughing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Rieflin. So that gives you an idea of my relationship with Bill. My friends were having heart attacks initially. Yeah, so that was the last time I saw Bill. So that was kind of, yeah, Bill was awesome, man. Well, he did 59 years. He did a fairly good run. Looks like with things that are happening now around the world, I don't know if he had any kids or anything. Something tells me he didn't. But yeah, Bill fucking rock, man. Bill Rieflin, you're totally loved up there, brother. Totally loved. So if you got Bill Rieflin stories, put them out, man. Share them. I know there's tons of Bill Rieflin stories. So, yeah. I meant to actually do this video yesterday, but for some reason yesterday morning was super emotional for me. Part of it was due to the learning about Bill's passing, which triggered all sorts of other things, because I have my own opinions on death and everything, which isn't that tragic. I mean, it's tragic how somebody might die, like they get run over by a bus. Fuck, that's pretty harsh. From what I understand, Bill succumbed to cancer, which is not good. But anyway, I think I've rambled enough on this one little thing. So yeah, if you got a Bill Rieflin story, feel free to share it. This video will probably be on YouTube and BitChute. So if you're watching on YouTube, it's also going to be on BitChute, I believe. If you're on BitChute, it's probably going to be on YouTube also. So providing everything goes okay, I'm going to do another vid. I'll do my Chris Cornell story, and I will also do a general Lollapalooza story on how Flano ended up on Lollapalooza as a massage therapist to the rock and roll and crew guys. I have tons of stories to tell on the road from that tour. But I don't know how many people called this, but I called it the Summer of Mud and Love, because we had muddy ass venues like everywhere we went, super muddy. And I see a friend ahead I gotta go catch. That's so hilarious. Okay guys, love you so much. Thanks for checking this out. Feel free to comment, keep comments polite and sweet and kind. And just give a big rock and roll for Bill Rieflin, man. Phenomenal dude, phenomenal drummer. And I'm very blessed and grateful to have spent the summer I did with him the way I did. Great guy. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. And I'll post another ramble later. Take it easy.